Hey everyone, so I just wanted to make a short video on some of the things I've noticed with the Vivo X300 Pro. And before I go into detail, I just wanted to tell you that I bought the device mainly for the cameras. I didn't want to invest in a DSLR. I just wanted to point and shoot, and I wanted to get good quality pictures, and I wanted it to be versatile. I wanted to be able to take landscape, macro, telephoto, everything, normal portraits and everything. I wanted something that it should be like a one time purchase, and I'm done. I didn't want to buy a camera, then buy extra lenses for it, and then carry around these lenses for all the different types of things that I want to shoot. I just wanted one convenient device that could do a lot of it, and I guess this takes me 80% of the way there, and for a fraction of the cost. And that's the reason why I bought it. And I think for people um, considering this device, I must say that that should be your consideration. Buy it for the cameras. If it's for anything else, I guess go for some another device. But if cameras are like your primary concern and you want something that will take you 80% of the way of a DSLR, and I think this is the right device to buy. So before buying this, so it's May right now. I bought this at the end of April. I've had this for a few days now, 4 5 days now. um, I've been watching YouTube videos on this device all the way from December, so even before this thing was released, when the influencers got the entire kit from Vivo, I was watching videos from December up until April. And I feel that I watched all of the videos there is on YouTube, and I felt that the influencers kind of left out a few points in terms of the camera app, which if you are buying it for the cameras, it is something that you have to know about. And so I thought, this, since I couldn't find any other videos on this, why not make a video on my own? So we'll just hop right into it. So um, my main issue, the number one issue that I have with the camera, I'll just show it to you right now. So I'm using the Nilkin case on it. I'll open it up so that the image looks better. The number one issue is, so right now I'm in the photo mode, and these are all the presets or filters that I get. So you can see vivid, zeiss, texture, and black and white. So this is like really useful, and you might think that it'll give you different types of output depending upon what you choose. But what I felt is that the color accuracy on this is not 100%. And so because of that, depending on circumstance, you might have to push it around to texture mode or vivid or zeiss, mainly between these two, alter between these two, and color match it with your eyes, and you'll be able to get 90% of the way there. So that's cool. But what I find pretty weird is that when you go to landscape and night, you have a whole new set of filters which you don't get in the photo mode. And some of these filters, like this cyberpunk filter, it's really useful if you're taking night photography in a park that's lit by neon lights. It looks incredible if you take it with this. And this atmosphere mode, all of them, like this kind of turns the image a little bit more dramatic if you're shooting landscape. So what I kind of feel that was like missed out was they've just compartmentalized the cool features. So I am a person that goes to photo mode and then chooses whatever I want from here. My mind doesn't automatically go to default to thinking, okay, I'm shooting landscape, I might as well go to landscape mode. That's not me. So, and I guess for a lot of people, they won't even find out that these filters exist because they don't scroll all the way there. And I kind of felt that should have been there in the photo mode. And another thing is the pro mode comes with, I'll say, less amount. I'm sorry, I meant to use portrait. So portrait comes with less amount of filters than I would like, but there are more filters here than the normal photo mode. So this is something that kind of drives me crazy. Why don't I get all the features in photo mode? you can compartmentalize or minimize it for specific modes, but why don't I get all of them in the photo mode? I don't understand that, and that's something I find a bit weird on this device. The next thing which I find, it's not weird, it's just dumb. I'll show you that. So you see this small arrow at the bottom, you click on it and it will open sort of a street photography mode, and now from here you get a whole new set of filters: Zeiss natural, black and white, positive film. And some of these filters like this, it makes an incredible difference, and I genuinely do not understand why this is a whole entire subset within the camera, and in order for you to get these filters you have to come here, and then you have presets sort of. Why do you have to compart? The camera app feels like there is an app within the app. Appception, I guess. I don't know. It's weird and I don't like it. And I felt that they could have just added all of them here. It might get overwhelming, but just give the option to, move around or change some filters depending upon the preference of whoever is taking the video, or whoever is taking the photo, I guess. So that's something which I hate. Another thing is, a lot of the reviewers were saying that use Zeiss mode for more natural, vivid if you want more vivid colors, texture if you want more texture. The texture mode, I would agree. If you take photos with the texture mode, it does look more dramatic in terms of textures. But these two, I felt that depending upon situations, like to get the best color accuracy, you kind of have to toggle between these two. Some situations the Zeiss mode looks more natural or more realistic or true to life colors, and in some situations vivid looks natural, and you kind of have to toggle between them and get the best effect. So that's something I noticed. And now coming to the second thing which I really hate about this camera is the fact that it defaults to the ultra wide lens if you go too close. So right now I think I'm still in the ultra wide. Let me just switch it to 2x and come back. So I think now I'm in the main lens, and if I move closer to the subject, you saw that a little bit of switch there. It switched to the ultra wide and it's zooming in from the ultra wide, and the ultra wide is a noticeably degraded sensor quality compared to the main sensor. There should be a mode where I can just lock onto one single lens, and I guess you can do that with pro mode, but I don't want to deal with all of them. I just want to go to photo mode and just stay on that lens. I tried tinkering with the settings, but I couldn't find anything that does that for me yet. And this flip and switch to the ultra wide is something that I don't like. You just notice that switch right here. Boom. So I don't know why it does that. Maybe to adjust the focal length so that you can go a lot closer with the images. That's cool, but just at least give us a prompt that it's switching to the ultra wide. And the ultra wide I'll say this, the ultra wide is best in segment in terms of current flagships. You really can't compare it with the S26 Ultra or the 17 Pro Max, because this ultra wide kind of sets the bar. It's really good. It's almost as good as the main camera. It's not as good, but it's 90% of the way there. But still, I want to use the most stabilized, the biggest sensor that you have. I know the telephoto is the biggest, but the second biggest, or I want to use the main camera sometimes, and this thing kind of automatically shifts to the ultra wide for getting those closer focal lengths, and I don't like that, and it doesn't tell me that it's doing it. I just figured out from the degraded picture quality. So that's something I kind of find annoying, and it's so simple to fix. Next thing is the fact that this compartmentalization, like app within an app. I don't know why these guys have done it. It's weird. They should not have done that. And one thing I kind of like is for the portraits, you get to select the type of lens flare you want. And I really understand why that would be cool and why that's needed. I get this, but the fact that you've limited the filters depending upon which mode you're in, and then you've made an app within an app with some really cool filters that you can only use in the street photography mode. I don't understand why someone would do that. Why would you limit something like this? This is so cool. And why are you limiting it? It just feels weird to me. And I don't like the fact that they've done that. Next, we'll just look at some photos I took. I'm telling you, I'm an amateur photographer. I don't do photography. I don't have a DSLR. I do have a DSLR, but like I really don't know how to use it, and it's too cumbersome to use. So I kind of felt that it's just. I read this somewhere. Okay, I read that the best camera is the camera that you have with you, and I think the mobile phone form factor, the candy bar form factor mobile phone is the current best camera setup that you can have. It's so damn convenient. And most of the places which don't allow a camera, you can take your smartphone, and this thing gets you like 80% of the way there, and that's incredible. And so that's why I didn't buy a camera. In fact, I don't even have a SIM on this device. I use it like primarily for cameras. Sometimes I use it to edit photos or videos or whatever. I'll just go through my gallery. I'll just show you some pictures that I took. And mind you, since I've owned this device, I've only gone out with it twice. I got the case today, so I was using the default Vivo case, and I got the Nilkin case today. So with this, I am a bit more confident to push this into my pocket. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I don't want to risk scratching the big ass Zeiss coated lens, or I don't know what this camera glass or whatever it's called. I didn't want to scratch it, so I got the case today. So now I'm a bit more confident for carrying it around. But otherwise, no. Without this, I wouldn't shove this into my pocket, because I might have keys or coins or whatever. I don't want anything scratching this. So I've only taken it out twice, and I kind of bought like a waterproof side bag for this, and I use that. All right, we'll just look at some photos I took, and I'll tell you what I feel about this. So this, I really like this pic. You can really get the silhouette of the bird. The details are kind of there. It's not perfect, but the details are kind of there. It's good. And the bird was really far away, so I've zoomed in a lot for this image, and also I've used the AI Ultra HD to upscale the image a little bit. It doesn't do much, but I guess it did something. Next image, yeah, this is a known issue with the device. Since the 200 megapixel sensor is huge, the plane of focus is pretty narrow, and this thing has a focus hunting issue. And if it's beyond the reach of the infrared sensor, I don't know what the infrared sensor does. I don't know what it does. I guess it helps with focusing. And this is a theory I have no idea if it's true. I kind of feel that if it's beyond reach of the infrared sensor, it really struggles a lot in terms of finding focus. So I tried manual focusing, but the bird just flew away before I could get a good photo of it. So next, this is I guess it's a hummingbird. I don't know, but it looked a lot bigger than a hummingbird, and it had kind of like the straw-like beak that the hummingbird has, and it was drinking nectar. So this image, I really like this image. The details are there, the colors are really good. You can kind of make out all the different scales that are on the dragonfly's wing. Beautiful image, and focused almost instantly. I was very surprised when that happened. I guess it's because it was within range of whatever that sensor is. This image too, absolutely incredible, and the details are there, the colors are really good, and I don't know, it kind of looks artistic, a little bit artistic to me. This video, it was of a stingless bee kind of collecting honey from this flower here. It's a water lily, a beautiful water lily, and it was collecting honey from the water lily. So I took a video of that. It looks incredible. The colors are really good. I don't know how well the colors are looking on my camera that I'm shooting this on. This is a Samsung Galaxy S21, a pretty old device, so I'm not sure how good the colors are coming through, but to my eyes it looks incredible. So this image, I've used the AI retouch, and you can clearly see that the AI has done some over sharpening. The leaves look fake, the colors look fake, the bird looks like an outline, a cutout basically. So yeah, this is a video of chameleon and or a lizard in iguana, I guess. I don't know what this thing is. Weird ass animal with a yellow body and black legs. I've never seen anything like that. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I've seen iguanas, they're green, but I don't know what this is. I guess a mutated iguana or something. So I saw this, and it kind of looked like it was doing push-ups. I don't know what it was doing, but it kind of looked like it was doing push-ups. So I tried to take a video, but there was foliage blocking the way, and yeah, you can see the camera is really struggling with focus here. But I don't blame it, because there was more movement in front than the actual animal was doing. So I guess that's I should have set that in manual focus, and I should have taken that video. But like, stuff like this happens all of a sudden, so I really don't have the liberty to set my focus and do all of that. Or maybe it's because I'm a beginner, I guess. So this is another photograph of the same dude doing some weird stuff, I guess. And you can see the foliage kind of moving around in the wind. That's blurred out. And this is the same image but with a filter applied. This is another image, and they have done something to this image, because when I took the image there wasn't this much of bokeh. The background was more visible. I don't know what post processing, I don't know what they did, but they have done something to this image. This is a yellow plantain flower. Oh god, this is a pink plantain flower, and it looked really beautiful, so I just took a photograph of it. This I took in the texture filter, and you really can see they've boosted the textures quite a bit. And I guess in certain situations it might look cool, but here it looks a bit overdone. But I do get the appeal. I do understand what they were trying to do. This image I had zoomed out a lot, and then I used the AI retouch, and it's kind of visible here. You can make out that this image, you've redone something to the image. It doesn't look raw. This too, the same thing, AI retouch, or AI Ultra HD, I think it's called. I used this AI Ultra HD here. Another black and white image. It looked really good, but it didn't look as striking when I took the image, but I turned it to 1:1 and then put a black and white filter on it, and now I kind of like the image, yin and yang, I guess. This fly, he was plotting something devious, and I happened to capture that image. This was like, I saw this fly for like a second, and I took out the phone and I just clicked a photo, and it came out really good. So there was no planning, or there was like no settings, nothing, just point and shoot, and it came out. I guess it looks nice. I like this image. This is a leaf cutter bee or something it was called. I forget what it was called. And I saw this taking nectar from a cardamom flower, and I took a photograph of it. Yeah, the details are not really there, because it was maybe 1.5 meters away from me, but I guess it looks nice. Another doggy, wearing an eye patch. A flower that in a color that I've never seen before, so I decided to click a photograph. So this, I was watching a YouTube shorts where they explained about foreground, middle ground and background. You have to set your foreground, middle ground and background before you take a photo. And I kind of, I just watched that video, and I thought, okay, how can I apply what this dude just taught me? And I found this butterfly, and I thought, perfect situation. But this was zoomed in quite a bit, and I did use the AI Ultra HD on it, and so you can really see what the AI has done. It has tried its best to touch up the image, but it looks artificial. The moment you zoom it, you'll figure out that it's artificial. Random ass butterfly, just happened to click a photo. Flower, I guess. Another really beautiful butterfly, but this is the only photo I could click of it. Plant, weird ass looking plant, I don't know, it looks blue and green at the same time. Cyanobacteria maybe, I don't know what this is. It just looked weird, so I clicked a photo. A flower that looked kind of weird. This I used the cinematic lens flare, and I guess it looks nice. If you do it properly, I guess you'll get a great image. The sun was actually in the background, but I didn't frame the shot quite right. Maybe if you had framed the shot where the sun was in the picture, the lens flare would have looked a lot more realistic. But there was no lens flare. This is fake, but I guess it's good. Plant with smallpox or something. Bugs flying around, and it kind of looked aesthetic, so I took a photograph. And it's not immediately noticeable, but I did use the AI rays. There was a power line running through, power line, or I don't know what, there was wires running through, and I used the AI rays to erase the power line, and it kind of left a trace here, but the image looks really good. It wasn't like this when I clicked the photograph. Doggo and her babies, it looked really good under a street light, so I just clicked a photograph. A bird with a hat, or I don't know, a creepy hairstyle, and gang affiliation, I guess, or favorite sports team, I don't know. And then another bird, and he looked very devious to me, so I thought, I better take a photograph. If stuff goes south, I'll at least have images of the culprit. So he looked pretty devious, and you can see in this photograph he is pretty devious. Right here he's avoiding eye contact because he kind of felt that I found out about him, and he's trying to run away from me from this image. But here he's pretty still. I got a good photograph of him. And then another big ass bird, I don't know what this is. Big bird, I guess. This was maybe 2.5 meters away from me, but there was evening sunlight, and so that's why the image looks really good. The details are still there. It looks really nice. It does not look like a smartphone photograph of a bird, so that was cool. And this is an eyeball, and me and my friend, we were having dinner at a restaurant. You can kind of make out the tables and chairs in the restaurant, and I kind of, I was testing out the phone. This is the first photograph I took. I was testing out the phone. I just pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and clicked a photograph, and it looked nice, so I decided to keep it as a memory. So this is my very short review on the camera app from a beginner perspective. And I guess the more I use it, the more I'll kind of understand why they might have compartmentalized a lot of these things. As of now, I feel that it's weird. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just let us pick what we want. All of it should have been here, and we should have been able to pick what we want. But I guess they've done something with it. And in terms of the camera lenses, I'll tell you, the telephoto lens is incredible, excellent, I'll say, best in class. And oh, by the way, you might be seeing a bit of a glow from this side, but it's not really there. Your eye can't pick it up, the camera can. That's the IR, or I don't know what frequency it is, infrared or ultraviolet, I don't know what that is, but I guess it has something to do with the autofocus, so that's there. The telephoto I was talking about, incredible, 200 megapixels, incredible. This is the first time when I used a phone that I felt the I felt I was defaulting to the telephoto lens instead of the main lens. So even with devices with telephoto lenses, I kind of use the main lens because that's where you get the best colors and the best details, and the picture looks incredible. But for this, the telephoto is the best. The main camera is a close second, and the ultra wide is a third. But I will tell you this: the ultra wide is best in class. I've compared it with the S26 Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Both of them don't compare. This is really good in terms of an ultra wide. It's really good, but it's not really that wide. It's 0.6x. I don't know how much it is in millimeters. It's really not that wide. You kind of get some other devices with more wider perspectives than this, but it's good. I liked it. The main camera is good. It's really stable in terms of video performance. That was pretty surprising to me, and the colors were good, the details in the video were good, but the star of the show is the telephoto, the 200 megapixel telephoto. That was incredible, nothing short of incredible. So amazing. If you guys, I think most of you will be wanting to know what case I use. I just got my hands on this today, and so I'll be able to take a lot more photographs now because I trust shoving this into my pocket with this on. Without this, I wouldn't put it in my pocket. That's why, even though I had it for I guess 6 days, I've only taken it out for photography for 2 days, and I've tested out in different conditions and battery life and heating and all that. I live in a pretty hot country. I live in India, south of India, and we are having one of the worst summers that we've had, and it didn't really heat up all that much. It was pretty manageable. I didn't feel that this thing was heating up beyond a comfortable range. It was fine. And I did take a lot of videos. I deleted a lot of them because I didn't think it was that good looking. I took videos just to test out how the videography was, and I found out that it was good. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say. The phone is really good. The case is Nilkin camshield prop magnetic case. Someone from Reddit recommended this to me, and that's why I bought it, and I guess it's great. Their recommendation was good. This camera thingy acts kind of like a kickstand, and you can even set this up in portrait mode. So you can have to fiddle around, but you can even set this up in portrait mode with the camera thing. And the hinge is pretty tight, so it won't slip. You have to apply force for it to snap on, and it kind of snaps in when you press in all the way, and it snaps out when you press it out all the way. In between, it's really stiff, so you really have to push it for it to move around. So with the weight of the phone, it does not move around. You can use it as a pretty solid kickstand. So Nilkin camshield prop magnetic case, that's what I use. If this video helps you guys, you can leave a thumbs up, and if there is something that I missed, or if you're trying to buy this phone and you want to know something about the cameras, just ask me in the comment section and I'll come back to it. I'll make updates on the video, I'll make new videos, and I'll speak about all those things. I kind of felt that a lot of the reviewers kind of skimmed over the details, and they didn't really give you the nitty-gritty of it. And to make a purchase decision, I guess you really have to know everything about the device, and I didn't like the fact that they skimmed over a lot of details when they discussed the device. So this is what I feel about the Vivo X300 Pro and the cameras, specifically the cameras. I really don't use this device for anything else. The display is really good for outdoor photo and videography. It's good. It didn't heat up all that much. It has never been slow. But I guess that's partly because of the fact that it's a new device. So even if I go to video now and I take video in log, so right now this is in 4K 60 fps, 4K 120 fps. I don't have log, but for me to use log, I guess I have to switch to, oh yeah, I do have log in 4K 120. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. So the image looks a bit distorted now. That's because I have the case on. For people who know, like people who are into this space, you'll understand how many devices struggle with log videography, since it's really intensive on the processor because it's capturing a lot of the details. But for this device here, I guess the processor is really good. I am pretty happy with how this works so far. So yeah, I recommend the device if you're buying this for photography or videography, and you kind of don't want to carry around a camera. In that case, I think this is the go-to device in the market right now. There is the Ultra coming out, or I guess it already came out for a lot of regions. You can look into that as well. If the Pro is this good, I don't know how the Ultra is going to be. I guess going to be a lot better. And this was within my budget, and I was going to spend that money on a camera, and I felt that I made a better purchase decision buying this instead of a camera.